G'day and welcome to ReDriven. Now, finally, the GT4 RS has been officially announced, and it's going to be a cracker. Porsche's mid-engined 718 Cayman GT4 sports car has received the full Renn Sport treatment, featuring a 4-litre naturally aspirated flat-six engine, now developing 368 kilowatts or 493 horsepower and 450 newton meters or 331 pound-feet of torque. But unlike the regular GT4, the RS is PDK only. No manual transmission does make me sad, but yeah, I get it. But don't for a second think that this thing is just a regular GT4 with more power. Being a Porsche GT car, everything has been refined, re-engineered and recalibrated to provide a truly special driving experience. A more aggressive aerodynamics package featuring air vents above the front wheel arches, a carbon fibre bonnet featuring brake ducts, a deeper front splitter with end plates, and a swan neck rear wing all combined for a 25% increase in downforce when compared to the regular GT4. Then there's the 20-inch center-locking alloy wheels hiding larger bespoke brakes, ball-jointed suspension mounts, revised spring and anti-roll bar rates, and new Bilstein dampers have all assisted in the GT4 RS slashing an incredible 23.6 seconds off the standard GT4's Nürburgring lap time. But with the Australian pricing for the new GT4 RS kicking off from around about $300,000, it got us thinking, what else can you buy on the used market for the same money that ticks all the GT4 RS's boxes? Well, before we answer that, a couple of quick rules. To be considered, these vehicles had to be as internationally available as possible, and they either have to match or come close to the GT4 RS's incredible performance abilities. Plus, they have to provide a similar or better level of theatre, drama, and image for around the same price. Now, there were loads of contenders for this list, but after the video, we want to know which one you would buy. Would you get the new GT4 RS, or would you buy one of the cars on this list, or maybe something completely different? Let us know in the comments after the video. Anyway, here are our picks for GT4 RS alternatives. Okay, kicking things off, we're going to start with something a little bit different. Actually, it's a couple of things that are a little bit different. Because for the same price as a GT4 RS, you can also have a Lotus Exige and a 200 series Land Cruiser. See, it's all good and well to have a track-focused, supercar-destroying sports car, but to really get the most out of it on track, you need tyres, and a toolkit to adjust the suspension, and your helmet, and snacks. And chances are that racetrack is hours away from where you actually live. And once you're done dealing with the immense G-forces all day, wouldn't it just be nice to have a relaxed and luxurious trip home rather than deal with a stripped-out carbon fibre interior and the fear that a pothole may damage your spine? Well, that's where this combination answers all of those questions. You want a mid-engined, driver-focused, lightweight yet powerful purpose-built track weapon? Well, they don't come much more convincing than a Lotus Exige. We've actually reviewed a Lotus Exige, and the link to that video is up there somewhere. Now, for this budget, you're not going to be looking at any flogged-out older models. $300,000 will not only get you into a near-new Exige Sport 420, but you'll have $110,000 left over for the Land Cruiser and the car trailer. Even though the Exige Sport 420 is down on power and torque versus the GT4 RS, pumping out 313 kilowatts and 427 newton meters versus the Porsche's 368 kilowatts and 450 newton meters, the Lotus is over 350 kilograms lighter. That's over 770 pounds for those of you using a unit of measurement that makes absolutely no sense. This all equates to the Lotus sharing a near identical power to weight ratio to the GT4 RS. And remember, the Lotus is powered by a bulletproof and inexpensive to service and modify supercharged Toyota V6 engine. Plus, being so much lighter than the Porsche, it shouldn't be anywhere near as harsh on its consumables like tyres and brakes. And to perpetuate the Toyota love, what better car to tow the Exige and tyres and tools and your helmet and friends and food to the track than a 200 series Land Cruiser? Okay, yes, near new and modified 200 series are asking silly prices these days, with some even topping $200,000. But $105,000 will get you into, say, a 2018 top-spec Land Cruiser Sahara with low kilometres and $5,000 left over to buy that car trailer. Okay, so next up, we're going to be moving away from the mid-engined layout, and we're going to go a bit more old school. So it's a V8 up front, powering the rear wheels, all wrapped in a sexy coupe body. It's the Aston Martin Vantage and the AMG GTC. While the GT4 RS is undoubtedly going to beat racetracks into submission with its immense aero package and glorious howling flat-six engine, some may find the extroverted styling just a little bit over the top. And that engine, while a masterpiece, is at its best when it's being revved out. Look, that's fine to be revving it out on a racetrack, but if you're going to do that around your neighbourhood, you're just going to look like a wanker. And that's where the Aston Martin and the AMG slide into the mix with sophistication and just blatant cool. Guys, forget the wings and the vents and the focus on lightweight bodywork. For $300,000, you can wrap yourself in either of arguably two of the most beautiful modern cars made, a 2019 Aston Martin Vantage or a 2017 to 2019 AMG GTC. Both are powered by AMG-built 4-litre twin-turbo V8s, with the Aston Martin pumping out 375 kilowatts and 685 newton meters, with the GTC just topping it with 410 kilowatts, but sharing the same levels of torque. And while it may seem that neither focus on sheer performance as aggressively as the GT4 RS, make no mistake, both of these things are absolute weapons. Yes, the GT4 RS may be all about lap times and cornering accuracy, but the combination of that big V8 up front with rear-wheel drive and a beautifully balanced coupe chassis will easily match the Porsche for outright fun behind the wheel. And once the performance shenanigans are over, you're left with classy, understated and supremely cool mobile works of art, rather than something that requires an aerodynamics degree to truly understand what is visually going on. Okay, so next up, this next one might have you scratching your head for days trying to decide between these two cars, because it's the GT4 RS's brother from the same mother. It's the Porsche 991 911 GT3. It feels like the Cayman and 718 have forever been living in the 911 shadow, even in GT4 form. As brilliant as that car is, it feels like Porsche never allowed it to really match its bigger brother. Even now with the GT4 RS, look, yes, it shares the current GT3's engine, but again, Porsche have detuned it, so the GT3 still has that edge. So therefore, for the GT4 RS's $300,000 asking price, why not just buy a GT3? Okay, $300,000 certainly won't get you into a current GT3 here in Australia, but how does a 2015 991 sound? Look, okay, yes, you will miss out on that glorious 4-litre flat six, having to make do with the 3.8-litre engine, but the power isn't all that much less than the GT4 RS. The 991 puts out 350 kilowatts and 440 newton meters versus the GT4 RS's 368 kilowatts and 450 newton meters. And even though the GT4 is more than worthy of the full-fat Renn Sport treatment, it's still not a 911, and that will be a sticking point for many Porsche fans. So is it the new GT4 RS or slightly older GT3? Which would you get? Actually, don't answer that. We've still got a couple to go. Okay, this next weapon of a car, it transcends the world of sports cars and lands very neatly into the genre of supercars. It's the McLaren 650S. That's right, thanks to some pretty incredible depreciation, instead of buying a new GT4 RS, you can have a used 650S. $300,000 will get you behind the wheel of a 2014 to 2016 650S. And remember, these things, when new here in Australia, with a few optional extras, were pushing $500,000. That's just a neat little $200,000 of lost value in 5 years, or $40,000 a year. It's crazy. So what do you get for your 300 grand? Well, the McLaren's 3.8-litre twin-turbo V8 will blow the GT4 RS out of the water in terms of power figures. 478 kilowatts for the Big Mac versus 368 kilowatts for the GT4 RS. Even in terms of torque, the 650 dominates the Porsche by a huge 228 newton meters. Then you have the McLaren's carbon fibre monocoque chassis, its Akebono carbon ceramic brakes, and the incredible proactive chassis control, providing an incredible blend of comfort while keeping it planted on even the toughest racetracks. Plus, it has supercar-worthy dihedral doors. So, do you buy a used but true supercar, or a heavily modified but brand new sports car? Now guys, if you're enjoying this video, can I ask a favor? Can you hit those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons? And also, can you share this video as much as you can? Because the more you hit those buttons and the more you share this video, the more of these videos we can make. That'd be awesome. Okay, finally, it's the car that is arguably the most direct competitor to the GT4 RS, at least in terms of layout and what it can provide. It's the 2018 Audi R8 RWS. Mid-engine layout, check. Rear-wheel drive, check. A glorious naturally aspirated engine, check. Incredible handling, balance and engagement, check. Precision German engineering, check. The GT4 RS is going to be a phenomenal car, but the R8 RWS arguably matches it easily, and in fact for the same asking price, possibly tops it in a couple of elements. As we mentioned, Porsche's Flat 6 is a masterpiece of an engine, but it's no 5.2 litre V10. Have a listen to this. Then there's the power difference, 397 kilowatts and 540 newton meters versus the Porsche's 368 kilowatts and 450 newton meters. But the Porsche claws it back, weighing 145 kilograms less than the Audi. Look, both cars will blow your mind on track and even more so on road. Both are very special versions of what are already excellent bases to work from. And while the R8 is arguably more understated in terms of styling, maybe you prefer the overt plethora of wings and vents on the GT4 RS. Now guys, this brings us to the entire point of this video. We want to know which car you would buy. Would you buy the brand new GT4 RS for its $300,000, or would you buy one of the cars off this list, or maybe something completely different? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and remember, can you hit those like, subscribe and bell buttons and share this video? Honestly, we would love to make more and more of these videos, and we can only do it with your help, and that would help us heaps. See you next time. But you'll have a 100, you'll have it a 100. Become Valentino Rossi all of a sudden. This all equates to the Lotus sharing a near, come on, to the GT4 RS. And GT4 RS, it won't be as hard, oh, that's me, sorry. Okay, so next up we're going to be, now guys, this brings us to the entire point of this, arguably the most direct competitor, I'm going to struggle with that word, competitor. I'll try and get all that in one. It's the 2018 Audi R8 RWS.